Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm King Sway, and welcome to RPG Story Realm. And this is another RPG horror story for you. Today we have It's My Loot. So, with that title, you can kind of figure out what's going on, but we're just going to jump right on into this story. Shit. Shank. So, here we go. It's quite a short story, and I don't know if it even belongs here, but here we go. We have a very simple rule at our table. All the loot that we find during a session belongs to the party. It means that all items, weapons, armors, etc. belongs to the party, and not to the person who picked them up. They can use it if they find it, but when the time comes to split up the loot, they have to give it away. Only when the mission is over and we decide who takes what, only then can you say that the loot is yours. If two players want the same item, then it's up between those two players on how they deal with the situation and how they split that item. That seems fair. I can understand that. I kind of don't like it. It has its merits and its flaws already. I see that. But continuing. During one of the sessions, one of the players, the problem player, found a cape that added +1 to AC. He himself stated that he does not need it, and because his AC was already 17, and he had some kind of build on his mind that would give him much more AC. We were a level 2 party at the time. That ain't bad for a level 2. Right after the start of the next session, me and one other player, let's call him Brad, discussed which one of us should receive this item. I had an AC of 16 and Brad had 15, and we both wanted this item. After a short discussion, I decided that I'll allow him to take the cape, if he pays me some gold. I was building an Echo Knight, so I wasn't worrying about my AC that much. Brad agreed, paid, and we went along with the story. All this time, the problem player who found the cape didn't say a word, which is the red flag. Okay, let's see how this goes. Only much later, when we managed to find a shield and everyone discussed who to give it to and the DM gave their AC and everything, the problem player suddenly got really angry and accused us that, quote unquote, we have given someone his item. Then he accused me and Brad that we didn't even ask him for an opinion and didn't even ask him what we can do with his item. Generally, he was angry that we ignored him and were trading items behind his back. He was literally in the voice chat with us when we were talking about it. It took the whole party to calm him down and to reason with him. After a while, he backed off and we went along with the session, but he was visibly annoyed for some time after that. Just no. I don't know if he overreacted or we just did something wrong. TLDR. Player gets annoyed that we give party loot to someone else when he wasn't even interested in it. He then accused the party of ignoring him. And that's the end of the post. So you know what time it is. It's time for my TED Talk. So we about to jump on in. Their system to distribute loot, we had something like that, but there are problems with it. It's on a. I get that a first come first, whoever finds it keeps it, can be a problem. That's obvious. I mean, I find something that you could use, and instead of giving it to you, I decide to keep it, and then later on I sell it because that's what I want to do, instead of handing it to you and knowing it can help you and thus the party. And that way I am weakening the party. And I understand that. But also the distribution point of, okay, let's discuss who gets what. Because like he said, two people can want the same item and that creates friction. If somebody doesn't want to give up the item, if somebody doesn't want to be like, okay, well, this is how we figure it out, because there's a lot of unreasonable people. I mean, come on now, this is RPG horror stories, nothing but unreasonable people in some measure. So I see the merits and flaws of both of those styles, but I do like actually saying, oh hey, you need this more than I do, here you go. But I'm going to say that the guy was in the wrong, not OP, but the guy that they call the problem player was in the wrong, because how are you in the same voice chat and everything's going wrong, and you sitting here like, oh hey, yeah, you know, like, you guys are just talking behind my back. I didn't even know what was going on. No, like, when you do things like this, I encourage face to face, but that's just me personally. It's like I said before, somebody gets wild, I can just punch you in the face. That's, like I said, that's just me, and that's just my violent tendencies. But no matter what, like, whether we're face to face, live action, sitting next to each other or across from each other, or we're in a voice chat together, there's no way you're not gonna know what's going on. There's, in my personal opinion, there's just no way. So, no, that wasn't handled wrong on the part of Brad and OP. They both agreed. After the guy said, oh, well, I don't want this, they both agreed, and then said, this is how we're going to continue with this. Pay me the gold, and I'll give you the cape. That's the part I don't like. He was like, pay me. Because he felt even he needed to get compensated. Like, somebody else is already. So what if what if the so-called problem player was like, oh, well, you need to pay me just to give this up? So there's the part that I don't like. It's because now you're saying equal distribution, fair use, equal rights, but you expect him to give it up automatically. But for you to give it up, you need to be compensated. And nothing was said about how the so-called problem player was being compensated. That's right there. That's the part that gets me. That's what I don't like, because it, in a way, states that I'm more important than you. You got to give it up because I said so. But for me to give it up, you got to pay me. You got to pay me for my time. You got to pay me for it. I don't. That's the type of mentality I don't like. Though I will say that, yeah, they agreed to it. If Brad's AC was 15 and OP's was 16, and then the problem players was 17, okay, the problem player wouldn't need it. It's a +1 cape. But to equally distribute things, Brad should get it. That way, Brad's 16, OP is 16, and then you got the so-called problem player with 17. Those are all really good scores. Those are all really good ACs, especially for level 2. But I'm gonna call the video here. We're gonna end it. That's my little final thoughts. As you can see, like, I'm still using my Elden Ring playthrough as my background. So I'm gonna let you guys watch this boss fight before I actually cut off the video. But I will give you my send off. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button, the notification button, and the bell. It's a small gesture. It's free for you guys, but it means the absolute world to me. Lets me know that you guys are picking up what I'm putting down. It lets me know that you guys are liking the content that I create, and that's why I do it. That's why I do it. Quite honestly, I love the created content. I love you guys' reactions, and I love interacting and talking with you guys, the comments and everything. It's free for you, but it means everything to me, and it also pushes my content out to people that may not know that this channel even exists. And in doing that, it pushes the content out to new people that may like what I'm putting out, which is always a plus. New people are always a plus. New fans are always a plus. But in the meantime, between time, always with peace signs. Ready with my next story. I am King Sway, and I will see you guys in the next one. We killed that troll. Yeah, screw that troll. I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for hanging out.